بالقاهرة. ممكن البعض يقول لماذا مثل هذا اللقاء لم يتم قبل زيارة الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي إلى ألمانيا ولقائه مع السيدة أنجيلا ميركل، ولكن أيضا يقال أن قبل هذه الزيارة كانت هناك زوبعة تدور حول العلاقات بين مصر وألمانيا، لدرجة أن البعض طالب أن تمتنع مصر عن القيام بهذه الزيارة. طالبوا الرئيس المصري ألا يسافر إلى ألمانيا بعد التصريحات التي صدرت عن رئيس البرلمان الألماني، والتي اعتبرها المصريون أنها مسيئة لمصر ومسيئة للرئيس. في أكثر من مناسبة وفي برنامج القاهرة 360 كنت داعما أن يستمر الرئيس في زيارته ولا يلتفت إلى ما قيل، لأن العلاقات لا تحسب على أساس كلمات تصدر من هنا أو هناك، ولكن العلاقات مهمة جدا في فترة محورية بالنسبة لمصر وهي تنطلق إلى الأمام. لذلك أعتقد أن التوقيت، والرأي لحضراتكم طبعا في النهاية، التوقيت هو التوقيت المناسب للقاء مع السيد هانس يورك هابر سفير جمهورية ألمانيا الاتحادية بالقاهرة، والذي درس الاقتصاد القومي والرياضيات، عقلية علمية بالتأكيد. التحق بالعمل في سفارات ألمانيا بباريس وموسكو ومانيلا وأنقرة وبيروت. التحق بالسلك الدبلوماسي الأوروبي في بروكسل بين عامي 2011 و2014، ثم أصبح سفيرا لبلاده في مصر من منتصف 2014. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, let me start by the outcome of the visit that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has made to Germany. How do you see it today, and how do you see it today as compared to how you saw it before it took place?
We've worked very hard for this visit to produce results. It was almost hectic to the last minute. I think we've achieved a lot, but on other fields our expectations were not quite fulfilled. I think this is normal in bilateral relations between two important countries who each have their own interests and their own weight in their region, like Germany and Egypt. The important thing, I think, is that after a period of upheavals and changes in Egypt, we are now back in business. We are in a process of dialogue, including now at the highest level, because there have been other meetings before, including between the President and the Chancellor, for example, in January in Davos. But this afforded the opportunity to talk in detail about all the questions we have about the region, about Egypt's position in the region, and of course about Egyptian domestic policies as well.
You said some aspects or certain aspects were not fulfilled. We know what has been fulfilled because everybody has been talking about them. Mm-hmm. What hasn't been fulfilled in your opinion?
Well, we had hoped for a solution to the very long-standing problem of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation being able to work here in Egypt, and about other related funds and projects within what we call the Transformation Partnership, and from the title you see that this was conceived in basically in 2011. We, on the one hand, we do not quite understand why Germany in so many ways is praised as a pattern of emulation. On the other hand, there is such a lack of trust towards the political foundations, which belong, after all, to the political parties who make up the political system in Germany. The Egyptian side has assured us, and credibly assured us, that they're working hard on a solution. We hoped for this solution to be part of this visit. Alas, this hasn't happened. We'll have to work on, but I'm still positive we will eventually find.
And you consider such organizations to be vital in relations between Germany and Egypt?
Well, in a way, it was the response to the Arab Spring in Egypt, which was something that we admired very much, where we wanted to help to drive it into a more to promote it in a more organized and regular fashion. So this was the idea behind Transformation Partnership and behind the work of the foundations. And of course, the foundations themselves have worked in Egypt long before 2011, under President Mubarak and his predecessors, basically without so many difficulties.
So what is it exactly that you wanted to drive or promote? The revolution?
We wanted Adenauer Foundation to be able to return to Egypt, resume its work here, and for the other three political foundations which are active here in Egypt to also work without interference with their Egyptian partners, some of which are in government, others in the civil society.
Okay. Is the government objecting to the German side, or is it objecting to your choice of the Egyptian side?
I'm not sure I quite understand your question.
The Egyptian government, is it objecting to the activities of Adenauer, or is it objecting to your choice of which Egyptian partners to partner with?
I think it's both, basically. But this is not spelled out clearly because there is always a reaction only after some program or some activity has started. So we want just to clarify that these organizations, these foundations, operate within the Egyptian law legally, and want to promote the certain aspects of the stabilization of Egypt after this very turbulent period.
Having said that, I mean, you've been here for almost a year right now in Cairo, right?
Yes.
And so your term is as long as President Sisi's term so far.
Yes, I arrived actually on the day before his election.
So there you go. How do you feel the pulse of the Egyptian people? What are the tools to feel what the Egyptian people really want? Is it the media? Do you go down to the street? Do you depend on reports that come to you?
I mean, we cannot feel the pulse of the depth of the Egyptian people somewhere in Upper Egypt or in parts of Cairo. We depend on the media, we depend on personal contacts with Egyptians, including those who we don't meet in an official function. But I think it is...
Such as what? What does that mean?
Well, for example, taxi drivers, people we meet in the street or in a restaurant. It is difficult to gauge this, but I think it's probably also difficult for the government to exactly know what the people think. But I think one conclusion is clear: the Egyptians want, after this period of turbulence, they want law and order, they want stability. They want a perspective, they have hopes which they want to be met by, including the government, like healthcare, education for their children, care for the old age. These are the most important things.
Which are the most important things for almost every nation in the world. People want that. In addition to afterwards, they come the other.
Which is true. With the difference, of course, that the Egyptians have gone through this period of turbulence, which is I wouldn't say luckily, because it was a great historical event, but which is not, for example, the experience of the Germans.
How was the experience of the Germans?
Well, for the last 60 years, stability.
And how does stability get achieved, except with the help of friends? Could it happen without the help of friends? Germany is a good example.
I think stable institutions, stable rules of the game.
Stable or strict in that case?
Stable and something between strict and lenient, which is liberal. Principled, principled and firm, but flexible in the individual case. institution building. I think institution building is the key.
President